Yo, 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 good morning, GMG. As always, I hope everybody's having a wonderful morning this morning. Looking out my window, it's not beautiful out there, but it is a beautiful day to be alive, right? So, if you're up, motivated to get to that bag, you either going to work or you just getting ready to trade the market, man, kudos to you, man. Let's get that money. And you guys already know what we on, right? So, if you are new to the channel, most of my videos are just going to be morning prep videos where I talk about some of the ES levels, do a little bit of a technical analysis on the ES, and then probably talk about some of the trades that we could potentially get into today. All right, so that sounds like something that would be helpful for you. You know what I'm saying? If you've been struggling with finding certain levels or just finding levels in general, and then obviously deciphering how you should trade around those levels, stick around. You might find something you like in this video and in some of our previous videos, and if not, that's fine. There's a lot of morning prep videos. Trade Brigade is one that I recommend heavily, so look him up on YouTube. Dude's dirty. All right, so with all that being said and out of the way, man, let's get right into it, man. I feel like I haven't made a morning prep video in about 2 weeks, so I can't even remember what we talked about last. Tell you the truth, I believe it was this pivot high that I was highlighting last, right? We had broke up and out of this range. I'm just gonna highlight that with this real quick, right? So we had this range right here that we were watching, and we talked about how, like, we were stuck back in June or whatever in this range, and then we had came all the way down, back up, and then we were stuck in that range again, right? So when we broke up and out of that, and we actually held up here, once we saw this pivot high, and for those who don't know what a pivot high is or what pivot highs consist of, it's just 3 candles, right, where the middle candle has a higher high than the one to the left and the right, and it also has a higher low than the candle to the left and to the right of it. So you get like these 3 candles like this. This is your pivot high, and then we start to go down, right? And then we had this little body sort of like doji candle right here. This kind of gave you like your, okay, we're getting ready, you know what I'm saying? You got a pivot high. This guy right here was, just kind of indecisive. We could have went back up and then broke the pivot high, or went down. And you see what happened. We went down, right? So in the last video, when we talked about this pivot high, just be on the lookout for these, right? These pivot highs that consist of 3 candles could be a pivot low as well. Obviously, that's what we're going to be looking for next, a pivot low. So here's our pivot high. Now we're coming down. We got to wait till we form a pivot low, and then we have a range. Okay, so be on the lookout for these pivot highs and pivot lows. Really good for swing traders too. Like if you would have noticed this and you were a swing trader, right after this little baby doji candle or whatever, when this guy went 2 down, this was a good nice little swing to the downside. But we're just getting out of topic, right? Just saying. So off this pivot high, we were already expecting a reversal. So there's our reversal, there's our breakdown, and then today this gap fill is crazy. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm sorry, not gap fill, but this gap down, right? We closed up here on Friday, and then opened down here, and then dropped hella since we opened. So this is not looking too good for anybody who was expecting to be anyone who like maybe bought some calls around here or something, swinging some calls or what have you. This is not going to be looking good for them, but we'll see once the market opens, right? So on the daily, we usually like to start on the daily time frame when we do our morning analysis. We just like to get a few questions answered here first before I drop down to my hourly, right? So the first thing I'm looking for on the daily is, if per the strat, today's current candle, which would be this one, right? This is our current candle. Are we in a inside one? Are we in a 2 up, 2 down, or is it a 3 bar? Well, we could very much obviously tell that this is a 2 down. This is a massive 2 down, right? Gap down, 2 down, like this is big bear is all we get now with that answer, right? This is bearish, right? It's a big red candle. It's a 2 down after already a 2 down. This was a 2 down, and then we gap down to a 2 down. We broke this dotted green line, was a little line of support, right? You could see right here that this guy bounced right here. This guy kind of came close and then went up. We lost that level, right? So right now we're holding, or we're looking to hold this 200 EMA right here, right? This 200 EMA around 4180. What is it? 4185. Once the market opens, we're gonna see if this holds today, right? Because for most people, if you're watching the 200 EMA, you know that is overall a really important level to most traders, right? Even myself, we use this 200 EMA extremely. It's extremely powerful to most of us, right? you know that if we're trading above it, we're in a, quote unquote bullish, and if we're trading below it, we're bearish, right? So we had broke above the 200 EMA, held above it a couple days, you know what I'm saying, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 days, 7, and then here we are now testing it, right, to see if we're going to break below it and hold below it. So that's important as well. We'll be watching to see if we close below this today. And then of course we have this area that we were trapped in right here, and broke out of it. So we're coming back now to test the top of this area. Should be strong support. Should get a lot of buyers to step in here and start pushing price back up. But overall, I don't think the economy, the market should be going up anymore. I've been saying this now for like a week or two. Like, things are still bad. Inflation's still bad. You know what I'm saying? Just CPI, PPI, all that data coming out. I think it was actually good, but nevertheless, like, we're just not in a great state where like this should just be a pullback and then bounce, rip, and then just kind of just keep going up. You know what I mean? Like, things aren't looking, fantastic yet. You know what I'm saying? So we shouldn't expect a just run up, run up, run up. You know what I'm saying? A constant run up. But we don't play what we expect. We play what we see. So that's just something we wanted to know. All right. So on the daily time frame, that's pretty much all I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying? We've got a lot of support coming in around this area, holding above the 200, holding above this 4168, 4170 before we get back into this yellow area. Even this EMA that I have right here, which, if you see, my orange is a 20 EMA, so we have 20 EMA right here, 200 EMA. We'll see how we react around this level today. All right, so that's pretty much it for the daily. That's what we're looking at, and that's what we got right there for the daily. All right, so then we take this and we drop down to the hourly, and then we have some of the levels, and this is where we like to talk about some of the levels that we could potentially trade today. All right, so as you guys can see, from Friday to today, it's just pretty much been a whole downtrend, right? You could see it very clearly. So we're in a downtrend. That's just something that, again, you want to note real quick. We're in a downtrend on the hourly, just real quick. And I mean, if you go to the daily, this is already looking like a downtrend too. I mean, this was the up, this was higher high or higher low, right? Here's a low, higher low, higher low. Well, here we are, lower low, right? You know what I'm saying? So we lost that. We could potentially be starting a small downtrend right here, but it's more visible on the hourly. You can see it right here, and then obviously we'll see with what happens this week and whatnot. But quick glance, you could tell that on the hourly we're in a downtrend. Okay, now for those who don't know, I always have 4 levels on our chart. Okay, these 4 levels will never change. I always have our previous day high, so this will be Friday's high. Don't mind all these candles that are above it. That is these are all pre-market, so we go into the high that happened during market hours, right? So here's about 9:30, 10. We know that 10 got all the way up here, and then nothing got higher than that. So this is our highest for Friday, highest point. And then the other dotted white line would be Friday's low, right? So that's pretty simple. Friday's high, Friday's low. And then we come in and we grab our pre-market high, which would be this dotted orange line at the top. And then our pre-market low, which is the orange dotted line at the bottom. Pretty simple, okay? Those 4 levels will always be on our charts. We always adjust those in the morning, and then we play that accordingly. So these 4 levels, we have 3 questions that go that are tied with these 4 levels, all right? And question number 1 is, where is price trading right now in relation to the range from Friday, right? So I say Friday because that's previous day, but you always just go previous day. So if today was Tuesday, you'd just be looking at Monday's range. So if I take this pen right here and just kind of highlight, there's Friday's range. Where are we trading right now currently to that range? Way below it. So the answer to question number 1 would be a solid arrow pointing down, right? Because we're trading way below Friday's low. So this is an arrow going down. This signifies bearishness, right? The bears push this down. Big bears push this down. This is giving us a gap down. Question number 1 is telling us that we may, high probability, have a chance to grab a play at the opening bell, right? That is what we're ultimately trying to get to with these three questions that we're going to ask, right? Question number 1, 2, and 3 in regards to these levels all answer, do we have a chance to grab an at open play this morning, or should we just wait and be patient, right? So far, yes, we have a chance because there's a gap down. We have a huge gap down. People are going to open the computers today. They're going to see that gap down. They're either going to want to close positions that they had that are up, right? Maybe they were going short, or these people that are long or something on Friday are going to have to, do something, add to their position, sell for the L, or just wait till we start moving around and trying to sell for a smaller L, what have you. People are going to get to their desks today and see that something has to be done, right? Because we're not sitting at exactly where we were Friday or within range that we were on Friday. We're out of that range, right? So you've got some happy people and some mad people. Just put it like that, okay? So that's question number 1, big down. Question number 2 would be, where are we trading in relation to the overnight levels, right? So here's our overnight high and here's our overnight low, and we see that we are at the bottom portion, right? So this would be an arrow down as well. We're not in the middle where this could be kind of balanced, and we're not at the top where it would be more bullish, right? It's down here, it's bearish. We're at the bottom of these levels. So question number 2 is another arrow straight down, bearish, right? So question number 1 and 2 is now giving us bearish answers. And then question number 3, if you just take where we close on Friday, it's kind of hard to see on here because the candle itself is this red right here. It's got this line going through it, so you can't really tell. But if you just, we know that it closed right here at 4228. How much trading took place above 4228 and how much took place below, right? So question number 3, we want to answer this in a percentage kind of way, right? So how much percent was up and how much was below? Well, we can see here clearly 100% of trading took place below where we closed, right? This is all the overnight activity. This is where we closed. All the activity took place below. None of the activity was up here. Therefore, that is another bearish answer to that question, and there we have it. So for today, there is a possibility for an open play. There is going to be some kind of people coming to their desk and seeing a position that's either really up or a position that's either really down, and they have to take action. Okay, these traders taking action is what gives us the possibility to jump in and ride that action. Whatever they're doing, we can potentially take some trades based off that, right? So now let's talk about some of the trades that we would be looking for today, right? How are we going to trade some of these levels? Well, the first thing I will be looking for, now this is really more because I'm bearish today or what have you, you know what I'm saying? This is really more so what I'm going to be looking for today, right? So here's one of the things that could happen, right? We are at the bottom down here at these overnight lows, which is ideally where I want us to kind of sit and open, because we could, I think I just hit the mic right there, my bad. But we could easily wait for a kind of gap fill, right? Because now we know that we have this overnight low and this Friday's low. This is a gap, right, that needs to be filled. Or, I mean, it doesn't need to be filled, but it most likely will be filled, okay? I don't even want to say most likely. I'll say high probability, all right? So let's say we start to trade up. This level right here at, 41.90. If we trade up and over 41.90, this would be a decent long if you're just looking to scalp and get this gap fill right here, okay? Once you get in right here, now let's say we see some failure right here, that'd be even better, right? At the open, you kind of see us try to cross below the overnight lows. Buyers step in, start pushing price back up. You notice that sellers are just not strong enough. Now they should be strong enough to push us below this, right? There's one more thing that I actually forgot to show you guys. So let me go back to the daily. Actually, no, not the daily. It would be here on the hourly, right? Here it is right here. Look at this run up right here. This is a huge run up in pre-market from, I think this was CPI, or I don't know which one, CPI or PPI, one of the days where that news came out and ran us up. This run up right here, there is no structure right here. If price comes back and starts trading in this area, it is most likely going to free fall probably to like right here around 41.50s, and then if we can get past that, we'll see the 41.30s where like the gap would be fully fully closed, right? So just how we were talking about this gap, that's why that reminded me, right? We're talking about that gap up. We still have a pretty big gap down to fill, right? And that is why my overall, when I said it like what a couple minutes ago, I'm bearish today, right? I'm looking to get this gap filled today. I'm looking to try to get some kind of trade in there, but we're talking about some of the possibilities for today. So let's just talk about them in order. All right. So and again, there's no specific order. I'm sorry, there's no specific order. This is just the order I'm gonna say it in. All right. But if you get some kind of failure down here, some kind of bounce or something like that, maybe a hammer down here, double bottom or what have you, and we start to come back up, either way, one potential play you could look for is this gap fill, right? Maybe even a potential partial gap fill, right, where we kind of come halfway, maybe fill half the gap. Buyers are not strong enough to fill it, to fill it completely, and then you start to get a reversal, which then you could get in long right here, kind of follow with a trail, or maybe just stop loss at break even at a certain point. You know what I'm saying? I would probably only target like 10 points, from 90 to 42 even would be fine. 10 points is fine. And then start following with a trail or something like that. But once this trade is done, right, let's say you see a partial fill and it starts to come back down, whenever it crosses through our opening print, or maybe like it crosses through another level that the intraday set up for you, you see another setup, because once you get a partial gap fill and you get a reversal that we start to come back down, the buyers are not strong enough to push this up anymore. And if these sellers step in today and we start to go down and we fail this overnight low, that big gap we were just highlighting, this gap right here, as you can see, this wick came down and it bounced at like what, 41.80, right around there, and that's really close to where our overnight low is at. If that fails today, I think we see this whole gap fill right here. So that ultimately is another play right there. That gap fill to the downside. So you can get a partial fill up, come back down, and then probably look to go short somewhere around here. Watching your opening print as a stop loss, what have you. Maybe you wait for the overnight low to fail, with the overnight low being your stop loss if it comes back up and over. Either way, that's either a partial gap fill up or a full gap fill up. That's a decent play right there. And then, of course, the gap fill to the downside, that's another play I'll be watching today, right? Maybe cross overnight low, get some drop, kind of come back up, get a little bit of bounce here, and then more drop, okay? For this play to the downside, I did have right here, 4150s, because of these guys right here. Watch out for them on the way down. 4150 might be a little bit of a support before it fails, or it doesn't. I don't know. Just watch 4150 if you're going short, okay? That's still from 4175s down to 4150s. That's still a good play right there. Really good play. Really good risk to reward, right? Because if you get in right here, and it drops, and then your stop loss is the overnight low, so maybe 2-3 points away is your stop, where your target is over 20 or right around 20. So that's a good play right there. All right. Today we could just open and trade sideways. We could just sit right here and go sideways, not close this gap, not fill this gap, or what have you. That's another possibility where we'll just have to wait and watch. Okay. I myself will be watching those two plays. All right. We have the partial gap fill or full gap fill, and then we have a possible gap fill to the downside, right? So we'll be watching both of those. Watch your price action, watch the volume, you know what I'm saying? If you start to see this rise and volume is increasing, you know what I'm saying, that's a good sign. You want to see volume increasing as price is increasing. And as soon as you see, if we see some sellers start to fail here and you see like a reversal and then we start to drop, if there's volume increasing as we're dropping, that is, remember, you want to see volume increase as price is either decreasing or increasing. Either way, it'll validate price movement in either direction, and that is how you gauge if you should get in or not. If this were to break the overnight low and start dropping on decreasing volume, that just means we're probably not going to hold down here and then start to go back up. You know what I mean? Just a little thought there, all right? But that pretty much nails everything that I'll be watching for this morning. It is Monday. For the most part, I try to just sit back a little bit on Mondays or just play small positions, because it is Monday. It's Friday or Saturday, Sunday. There was no trading. Today is just I like to take today to gauge what the week is going to do ahead of us. So yeah, that's pretty much all I'm watching for today. All right, hope that you guys found some type of use in this video. Something was helpful, something was useful for you. If you guys have any comments for me, man, put them in the comments down there. Let me know what I need to talk about. Let me know what I need to talk about better, what I need to you know what I'm saying, highlight more. I don't know, just let me know what I can do to improve for you guys, man, because at the end of the day, this is supposed to be educational for you guys. So if you aren't learning anything out of it, then at the end of the day, I'm probably doing this for no reason, right? I like to do this, though. I like to make these videos, and I'd like to do them even more if I knew that I was hitting points that you guys specifically asked for, right? Like, you specifically asked for a certain educational fill-in on something. If I could help, I'd love to make a video on that, right? So yeah, I'm not going to talk too much anymore, because this video is about 20 minutes long already. I'm going to go ahead and cut it here so we can get ready for the market in about, what, 25 minutes. So thank you guys for anybody who stuck around and listened to that. And I will be seeing you guys in future videos, all right? And for those who are really I forgot to mention this, for those that are new to the channel, I always and will always end the video with a banger song from 216 Killers, man. I'm gonna be playing these guys at the end of every video, all right? So if you guys already stuck around for the technical analysis part, you got what you need out of that part. You're good to go. This is for my people who want to listen to some great music. So 216 Killers, I'm about to go ahead and play. I need to get these guys to send me some new music, man. All right, we about to play here. No Games, 216 Killers, all right? And then I'll be on right after the song to give you guys one last goodbye for the day, and then we on, all right? Peace. See you guys in a little bit. Bow.
I got the strap on me. Don't you know that I don't really be playing no games? I got the bag with me. I got no feelings, I really don't care what you say. I'm like a masterpiece. Then y'all hating when you see that I'm killing the game. Such a catastrophe, yeah. When I got the pack with me, yeah. I got the strap on me. Don't you know that I don't really be playing no games? I got the bag with me. I got no feelings, I really don't care what you say. I'm like a masterpiece. Then y'all hating when you see that I'm killing the game. Such a catastrophe, yeah. When I got the pack with me, yeah. I got the strap on me. If you wanna make it there, we can go take it there. I've been as heartless as ever, ain't playing fair. I got no time to waste, so say what you saying and say it fast. You're lucky that I even gave a chance. It's people like you that just make me mad. You talk to me crazy, we throwing hands. I'm making it something that you regret, and there ain't no stopping me, ain't no apologies. Once you my enemy, it's a new rivalry. I call it side of me, cause you already know what's about to come. I'ma beat your ass. You funny if you think I'm sitting last, and I'm at your neck and you give a chance. I had to take over everything so that I could flex on them, yeah, yeah. They're the same ones from the same hood that I hate on you, yeah, yeah. Ain't playing games, I'ma take your name. If you play with me, we gon' make it a thing. My killers with me, they can make it rain. No question about it, just let it rain. Like the newest music, just let it bang, and I'ma let it bang, yeah, yeah. I got the strap on me, don't you know that I don't really be playing no games? I got the bag with me, I got no feelings, I really don't care what you say. I'm like a masterpiece, then y'all hating when you see that I'm killing the game. Such a catastrophe, yeah. When I got the pack with me, yeah. I got the strap on me. Don't you know that I don't really be playing no games? I got the bag with me, I got no feelings, I really don't care what you say. I'll make a masterpiece, then y'all hating when you see that I'm killing the game. Such a catastrophe, yeah. When I got the pack with me, yeah.
Ran up them numbers, we big body. Say I do better, don't hear about it. Oh, he wanna live while we here, homie. Stuck in limbo, now we free from. Oh, they finna skip to my loot. Yeah, get the drip to my shoes. If I get the pick, you gon' lose. You can't get shit, you could boost. Still funny like he a cartoon. Fuck all that chit chat, none of us with that. Slide on your bitch, skinny thing with a thick ass. Don't keep a pole, but my niggas gon' blick back. Out on the road in a mission, it's big racks. You never know if you don't go the distance. My heart was cold, but my mind was a prison. I was alone and ain't nobody listen. Always on going, yeah, I'm gon' go the distance. No, I ain't at home, better hit my line. Gotta get to that money like 9 to 5. Oh, that pussy boy ain't a friend of mine. Life in the coast with no Gemini. So I'ma stay posted with Opie. You know that he got me, he always gon' ride. But still by my lonely, I ball like Ginobili. They told me I'm one of a kind.
I got the strap on me, don't you know that I don't really be playing no games? I got the bag with me, I got no feelings, I really don't care what you say. I'm like a masterpiece, then y'all hating when you see that I'm killing the game. Such a catastrophe, yeah. When I got the pack with me, yeah. I got the strap on me, me. Don't you know that I don't really be playing no games? I got the bag with me, I got no feelings, I really don't care what you say. I'll make a masterpiece, then y'all hating when you see that I'm killing the game. Such a catastrophe, yeah, when I got the pack with me, yeah, I got the strap on me.
Yes, sir. 216 Killers featuring Lil Shino. Alright, man, them boys is some fire. I be telling y'all, man. I'm about to put some more music in these future videos, and we're going to have a playlist for you guys. I keep saying that, but we're going to get that for y'all, I say. Alright, anyways, you guys have a good one, man. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video, man. Love y'all. Peace.